What we've got right now is a crisis as a result of an inability to get a significant energy project built for decades, frankly.
Alberta's Premier Rachel Notley is in a real bind. The price of Alberta oil has been crashing, selling for about $15 a barrel. That's at least $40 cheaper than American oil. There is a glut of Western crude. Pipelines are at capacity. The Trans Mountain pipeline expansion was meant to help get that oil to market, but now it's on hold. Notley's got an election coming. Her political future relies on solving this problem, but how? She's appointed 3 experts to consider cutting production or building new refineries, and she's stepping up the pressure on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. On Thursday, he flew to Calgary to say he feels Alberta's pain.
There is no question that folks in Alberta, folks here in Calgary, are living through extremely difficult times. Yes, this is very much a crisis.
Trudeau has committed billions to buy and complete that Trans Mountain pipeline, but that could be years away. And so far, that's all he's promising. There are some new buyers in Asia, but without new pipelines, Alberta's oil can only be moved so fast. For example, it can take up to 36 hours to fill an average tanker ship. Notley is now promoting another idea, one that could cost hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe more. Let's take a look. Sending oil by truck, boat, train, or pipeline, there's always some risk. So with the Trans Mountain pipeline in limbo, let's look at Alberta's Plan B. Trains. Rachel Notley wants the federal government's help to move more oil by rail, or her government will start buying trains itself.
Everything that we do, short of building new pipelines and getting more value from our resources, is not a long-term fix.
So how do trains full of oil compare to a pipeline? Which one is faster? Pipelines, but they are limited in where they can go. Railways have a more extensive network, so sometimes rail is faster. Which one is less expensive? On average, pipelines. It costs around $5 per barrel compared to $10 to $15 by rail. Which one has fewer oil spills? In 2017, the Transportation Safety Board reported 2 crude oil spills by rail. The same year, the National Energy Board documented at least 5 oil spills by pipeline. And that's just the ones that are federally regulated, only about 10%. Which one causes the most death or damage? Well, it depends on how you frame it. In 2013, a train crashed into Lac-Mégantic, Quebec, spilling 1.5 million gallons of oil and killing 47 people. The Enbridge pipeline rupture in 2010 spilled about the same amount of oil into a river, damaging the environment, but unlike Lac-Mégantic, didn't kill anyone. Joining me now is Graham Thompson. He is a CBC columnist after spending years with the Edmonton Journal as a reporter there. So Graham, how big are the stakes here for Premier Notley?
It's huge. Heading into an election, she's been promising Albertans a pipeline. That's not going ahead. Now she's saying, look, out of desperation, let's start shipping a lot more of our bitumen, a lot more of our oil by rail.
So is that going to happen? I mean, she was asking Justin Trudeau for that. He spent $4.5 billion on the pipeline. It doesn't sound like he's biting on the trains. Is she getting somewhere, and how desperately does she need to see some progress here?
Yeah, she is desperate. She's really getting nowhere on this issue. You saw this week the fiscal update. Alberta was hoping for some sort of word from Ottawa that would be making crude by rail, as it's called, a priority. It's not. And so now, out of frustration, she's saying, look to Ottawa, if you won't make it a priority to ship more oil by rail, we'll start buying up trains. We'll buy cars and start shipping the oil. Yes, that's very expensive. We don't know how much. She hasn't mentioned the amount, but she says it's an investment. It's an investment, I guess, fiscally to try and get more money for our oil in the world market. It's also an investment for her politically. As I say, heading into an election, we expect it next May. Time is running out for Notley to show to Albertans she's making some headway on. There's a carbon price, a carbon tax in the province, really unpopular. She's saying, look, we're spending that money, we'll get a pipeline done eventually, but in the meantime, we'll be shipping more of our oil to the West Coast. The thing is, it's a matter of desperation. She has no real control over it, the price of oil. She has no control over really shipping oil when it comes to the federal government helping her out. So right now, she's in a political bind, looking for some way out.
And meanwhile, you've got Jason Kenney in the opposition who wants her job complaining about the carbon price, complaining about her management of this. He's rising in popularity, is he not?
Oh, absolutely. Like he's well ahead in the polls. This is a major problem for Notley. You mentioned the carbon tax. It's very unpopular. And they've been saying for some time, the government, look, we've got a carbon tax, we've got a pipeline. It hasn't worked out that way. So she's looking for some ways to show Albertans some sort of movement, some sort of way forward. And the problem is there isn't one. There's no easy way forward. Even shipping crude by rail is a temporary stopgap measure. But right now, she's running out of answers. And also running out of time because the election's coming up. And odds are that pipeline won't be in the ground, won't even start construction, we imagine, until next fall. And the election is in the spring. So Notley is desperate to find some way, some glimmer of good news to show Albertans she's actually found some sort of solution, even temporary, to this price differential that's causing major problems for the economy here.
Graham Thompson, thanks so much for talking to us. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.